Coming up, a chilled playthrough of the Serpent Rouge in the Angel of Darkness DVD game.
Hey, so last week we answered the question of what is your favourite enemy type, and this week we are flipping it and we're going with what is the worst enemy type in Tomb Raider.
This week's Tomb Raider Spotlight is on a gamer who goes by the name of BadassGamez.
Stop.
Welcome back. It's Tomb Raider the Action Adventure DVD board game. And we're on
Board game?
chapter... Pardon?
You said DVD board game?
Oh,
I haven't got the board game out with all the figurines that you move around and the dice.
oh, I tried an intro and I messed it up.
Oh, you're sacked. You're off. Get rid of him.
No. So I managed to get to the end of the level. I was having trouble last week where got to the section where you have to aim the crosshair at a guard and shoot him using left and right. Right, use arrow keys.
So move the crosshairs and then press OK to fire.
Well, I haven't got any crosshairs, which is tricky. I got shot. I'm playing on a laptop. I think you are too, but my laptop didn't have any crosshairs. So I was trying to randomly press left and right and up and down to just hope that it shot him with 2 failed attempts. So third time, I tried just clicking on the man and that seemed to work. So I ended up finishing the level, but I'll remember that for next time. But there's a little tip if anyone does pick up this DVD board game.
What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. Like, I'm enjoying having a Tomb Raider game with no stress and anxiety around the platforming, and it's quite nice being a passenger in the adventure.
Yeah, there is no stress. I quite like that. Yeah, that description. I think one of my highlights so far is the Margot character. I don't think she was voiced very well. Sorry if you were the voice actor of Margot. But she did have some cool sunglasses, sort of like half moon, like, because Lara always has the cool sunglasses, but she had them on in this game. So
I believe you've got some cool sunglasses as well.
I've started collecting them now. maybe I'll sport them at some point for you. You see what the mission
Right.
is?
Yep, onwards and upwards.
So we are going to the discotheque. The Serpent.
I hope there's some dancing.
I hope so.
And we're finding Bernard's box.
Is this like Pandora's box or? Oh no, Bernard was the bloke in the park, wasn't he?
Your name's Bernard. Janice said I might find you here.
She shouldn't be giving my name out like that. What do you
Snitch.
want? I'm busy.
Bernard's watch.
Oh, I love Bernard's Watch. Bernard's Watch was such a good program. I had a track called Bernard's Watch in one of my old bands, and I think we called it thus because we liked the show, but also because we were messing with time. So like, I was playing in 4, the drummer was playing in 5, and the guitarist was playing in 6. And I had to do some real math to figure out where we'd all come back aligned.
That's like some Kashmir stuff going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bernard was the dude in the park who just says, "Leave me alone, I'm busy," in the original game. But we've
That's
got
the
a
one.
bit more chat out of him in the DVD game.
But we need this box to get the password. So let's do it. Okay?
So this is the famous Serpent Rouge. Now to find Bernard's box.
Yeah, we've got the box right here, Lara.
Yeah. Where's the big fish and the small fish?
I know from the Angry Video Game video on Angel of Darkness that this bit can be really buggy and hard to get the jumps right, and the lighting is so bad that you can't tell where to jump where there's like a free bit where there's no railings that you can actually get through onto the next platform?
I've heard, yeah, the thing is save while it's at every jump, basically. Oh wow, there's some quick time events here.
So we've got to press the up arrow while it is flashing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, I'm ready to go when you are.
Do it. Tap it 4 times.
Yeah. I guess this is one of the examples where she feels stronger now. She sort of levels herself up. Oh.
That's true, yeah. I'll wait for you at the top.
Okay.
There's a section where you have to press the right buttons in order as well.
Oh, I see. I wasn't doing that. I was just chatting. Oh, and then I skipped the platforming bit almost. Bit of heartbeats, a bit more jumping and swinging. Do you know what the lights reminded me of? You know the
light
Rome level where you open up the door behind those dragons and there's like a rainbow sort of coming down.
It was like a bubble, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so in front of a control lighting rig, I think.
Looks like it, yeah. Like maybe it's controlling that scaffolding or something, but let's go for it and find out.
Let's just go for it.
There might be some more quick.
Just says left, right, left.
Yeah. Is this his box?
Why is his box up in the lighting rig? It is his box.
Ah,
It is his box, yeah.
The box inside a box.
When he said a box in a club, I thought you meant like he had a VIP box.
That would have made more sense. Just a shoe
What's
box.
in the box? Surely Lara should find out what's in the box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
End of the level. We'll have to wait till next week to find out what's in the box.
But don't we get to choose a prize?
Right, well, there we go. So we have got 4 points in every level so far.
A bit disappointed by the lack of dancing in the discotheque.
The discotheque.
Can I tell you about my playthrough of Heavy Rain? I was getting a bit weighed down by it. It's quite a heavy, sort of, it covers like lots of mental health and murder and stuff like this, quite heavy topics. So there's like a scene after some strangling or some sort of fight in a club in like a private box. And then rather than just walk out, which is what you're meant to do, I just stayed in the club and just danced as Norman for ages. Well, danced. I was spinning round loads of times. Like,
Fortnite.
Creating the illusion of dancing when he was sort of like bumping into people. And that was probably one of the most fun times I had with that game.
Well, it's rare to get a bit of entertainment in such a heavy game. So
in a heavy game.
I'm pleased you found some solace.
Yeah, it was good. I lost myself in the music until I realised they only had 2 songs in that club.
Everyone's in there just loving it. Like, I love this one. No, play the other one.
That was so good. Rewind. Hey, so last week we answered the question of what is your favourite enemy type, and this week we are flipping it and we're going with what is the worst enemy type in Tomb Raider. You got any thoughts or opinions? Agree, disagree, let us know in the comments down below. So for me, I mentioned it last time, Tomb Raider, when it tries new mechanics with enemies, sometimes it can go horribly wrong. We definitely found this when we were playing through Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles in our series Race to the End, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Enemies with new mechanics which didn't work well for me include imps you get in the island levels of Tomb Raider Chronicles, just gnawing at your feet. The VCI workers who don't attack, but they sort of duck out of the way.
Don't shoot.
And then they go and press
Don't shoot.
a button and it releases a security camera gun. Those are annoying. And the VCI soldiers, because they're just so it's so much inconsistency in how you're meant to approach them. It's really frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree though. I think in that particular area, Von Croy levels as well, they're quite armed and dangerous as well. When you have to target certain areas of them, like a bit that kind of jumps out at me was where after the rope swing on the vent and you climb along the wall and then you slide down back into the corridor, there's two of them coming at you. So they've already spotted you, and so you've got to shoot both of them in the head, and they're coming at you firing.
Yes. And is that the point where there's one above and in front of you and one behind you and below you?
That's a different bit, but that also is another example. Yeah.
And it seems a bit unfair, the enemy placement there as well. Difficult, very difficult level, that one. So another thing that a category of annoying enemy types would be awkwardness. I don't mean like awkward balloon, don't get along with them anymore. So I think sharks can be particularly cruel, especially when you're on like what's essentially like a timed run due to oxygen.
Yeah, I think scuba men as well, they're frustrating.
Definitely. Like, it's the harpoon gun isn't very good, isn't very effective. It's really easy to miss them.
And we touched on it last week when we said the crop worked really well because it crosses water and land. And I think underwater enemies, Crocodile again, Tomb Raider 1, kind of works because you don't have an underwater weapon. So the placement of them allows you to kind of narrowly miss them, climb out the water. But by the time they give you the harpoon gun, they're like, you can fight them now. And it just doesn't work very well.
Do you remember the dragonflies from Tomb Raider 3? They just constantly respawned and respawned and respawned.
I actually can't remember that bit. Is that on the kind of...
kind of like glow, a blue sort of crystal colour.
Unlimited enemies.
Yeah, they were annoying, to be honest. Do you remember the cobras from Tomb Raider 3 just sort of come out?
I do.
And get you.
I do remember the cobras, and I will say it now, they are my worst enemy in the whole series.
There's one that drives me up the wall where you have to do a running jump across diagonal as well.
And here's another kind of tricky jump, because there's a snake over there on the platform that we need to get to. Simplest way is to grab your shotgun and blast him right in the face as you make your way over there. He doesn't mind.
I remember that bit being very frustrating, and they're in cruel spaces, but I think what makes them... That's just cool. The two main things for me about them is they poison you, which, as we know, is awful in Tomb Raider 3 because you need health packs to cure yourself from poison, and that they are, it almost feels unfair where they're placed because they are purposely obscured. And you know, I'm not the most patient when I'm playing Tomb Raider, and I want to get through it quickly, which means I often run into them rather than maybe they rear their head if you're a bit slower on approach, but you can't walk everywhere.
It doesn't top the list for me because you do have so many med packs in that game that it's like, once I sort of think about them, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to focus on the platforming element, and they can bite me, and I'm going to go ahead and kill them, and then I'm going to, whatever. I have to use a med pack. Doesn't matter. I've got 15 still.
So I guess that the reason that doesn't work for me is my game's play style, which is I use dual pistols until the last area, and I hate using med packs because I like to build up my inventory until it's got so big that I will never ever use everything until the end, just because I don't want to use it early and then be left wanting it.
You want to build up a safety cushion.
Yeah, exactly, which then I never need ever. It's like it actually happened in Race to the End in Von Croy, when you were like, I'm stuck, I'm out of bullets, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I've got 162.
I've got a couple more honourable mentions before I go on to my worst Tomb Raider enemy type of all time. These ones are ones which actually would legitimately scare me. Like, they freak me out. So number one out of these two is the moray eel. So this sort of jumps out at you when you're swimming underwater, and it gives you a jump scare, man. And the face, if you look at it, is horrible. Which I've actually done scuba diving, and they do look really, really scary in real life as well. So yeah, seeing them was like a reminder of what I had seen under the ocean floor.
Fair reason if you've actually had real life experience.
One I haven't had real life experience on, but it gives me a bit of the heebie-jeebies, is the big
Dinosaur.
No, you get big spiders in Underworld, and I think you get them in one of the classic games as well when you're in some sort of cave. But they're just really gross and huge, and I only managed to have fun with them once I figured out you could run them over and you're almost immune to them when you're on your own. Then I felt safe and I just skidded around until I got them.
I think in Underworld as well, they're always paired with the kind of baby ones as well, which adds an extra dimension to that. For me though, if you've ever played the Resident Evil series, those spiders aren't scary anymore.
Oh gosh, do they up the game there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for me, my number one worst enemy type in Tomb Raider games is humans. I came to the realization, I think, when playing my playthrough of Uncharted 1, I don't really like killing humans. I don't get off on it. I'm too like thinking that's cool. I'm cool with killing endangered species in Tomb Raider games, but not humans apparently. That sort of upsets me a little bit. There's a couple of exceptions, because I think there's a couple of cool humans. Cool one, number one, would be the guys with flamethrowers who you first see in the dive area.
They're hard though.
Yes, they're hard, but it was like a new twist, and I was like, holy shit. And then I got set on fire. But then next time I got up there and I just deleted like 3 or 4 of them in a row, and I felt like a badass, so I liked that. And the other one, which I think is cool, is our French friend Pierre. Just because it's smart AI for such an old game from like 96, where he comes out in a level, peppers you a bit with bullets, you shoot him back, and then he runs around the corner and actually disappears. You can't kill him until like the last encounter you get with him.
I will say semi-boss though.
Okay, so for me, Tomb Raider 2 had just too many humans in it. Like overall, it sort of favoured the human enemy type, and I think that leads to me preferring 1 over 2. 1 also had this sort of brilliant slope of difficulty in introducing like new enemies as you go, and I don't feel like you have that so much with 2. With having so many human enemy types in Tomb Raider 2, I don't feel like you get away with repeating them so much. Because humans, I can tell the difference between one and another. But like, you can go and have 3 absolute carbon copy crocodiles and face me against those. Like, it takes you out like immersive-wise, I think. My worst enemy type out of all the humans in the Tomb Raider games is that chef on the submarine in Tomb Raider Chronicles. God.
I can't agree more. Frustration and that part, that was, yeah. I think that was our first sticking point in the game as well, wasn't it? And yeah, just ridiculously not explained mechanic, and the amount of time we probably spent running around him trying to set him on fire. Yeah, good pick.
This week's Tomb Raider Spotlight is on a gamer who goes by the name of BadassGamez.
Oh, dude. This guy just totally whacked me with his sword.
You have to have impeccable skill to make it as a gamer, and BadassGamez, or Matt, has this in abundance, as proven by his successful Nilunmas runs through all the classic Tomb Raider titles. So that's no loads, no meds, all secrets. So it's a tricky run to do. It's his clear and precise instructions within his walkthroughs that set him apart.
What's up, everybody? BadassGamez. Welcome back to Tomb Raider Chronicles. Today we're going into yet another Ireland level known as Labyrinth.
He has a knack for providing the best camera angles to accompany his pointers, guiding you through the levels. Thanks to his guidance and timestamps in all his very clearly labelled videos, which allow you to skip ahead to where you may be stuck, level objectives and navigation are easy to follow. His walkthroughs are perfect if you become stuck at a certain point, or if you want to collect all the secrets, get all the pickups, or make all the kills. BadassGamez covers strategy for taking minimal damage, very handy for Nilunmas challenges. He tells you the exact enemy spawn tiles to forewarn you of danger, and gives you precise positioning for those awkward jumps or tricky traps.
Now that we're here, we want to take 2 steps up and allow Lara to get her footing. And once she has her footing, do a backflip, and she'll land safely on this edge. If you're up any higher than that, I think she'll hit her head and fall down, which is definitely a bad thing, something we do not want to happen.
Matt also has this long-running Explosions series where he takes on TRLEs on Twitch and then later uploads them to YouTube. There are seriously hundreds of these, so go and check those out if you're a fan of lots of content on Tomb Raider. So if you're looking for a walkthrough of a classic Tomb Raider title, then BadassGamez should be your go-to.
Alright, well, next week on Action, Tomb Raider, Action, Adventure, DVD game is Bernard's Box.
Right, I hope you join us then.
Okay, and can you guess what my worst
keep that
human
there.
of all